Hi, my name's John, John Dunkley, and I run my Avon business with my wife Jane. Now, you're probably receiving this video because you're relatively new to Avon and you really want to find out a little bit more about what you're going to need to do to get your business off the ground. Yeah. Firstly, Jane and myself would love to extend a very warm welcome, not only to Avon, but also into our team, and we're known as the A team. Okay. So, you should have received a text message from your sales leader, and on that text message there were three things to do. The first was to add us as a friend on Facebook, and this is the address to add us as a friend on Facebook. Okay, so make a note of that. And what happens is when you add us as a friend on Facebook, we can then add you into the A-Team group, which is really all of our team on there, giving hints, tips, advice. There's videos, you can ask questions. So there's lots of really good information on there that is going to help you build your business. The second thing that you should have on that text message is a link to some videos. Now these videos are fantastic. I think there's about 9 videos on that site, and they cover all aspects of Avon, and they're short. They're only sort of 2, 3, 4 minutes long, so they're very doable. You know, if you've got 5 minutes here, just have a quick cup of coffee, watch that one. Another 5 minutes, watch that one. Yeah. So over the next few days, if you can watch those 9 videos, you'll have a really good overall view of what you're going to need to do. The third thing on that text would be to advice on how to set up your online shop. Now, setting up your online shop is really important. You don't have to do it straight away, but at some point we need to sit down and get that shop set up. Okay, so the thing that we're going to cover today really is the retail side of the business. This is the traditional way, through the brochures. Okay, now the brochures that we've got at the moment are these. Okay, the ones that you might have are slightly different probably, but the principle is the same. So you've got a main brochure, nice thick brochure, and you've usually got a little sell outlet brochure. All right, and what we do, just put them back to back and pop them inside of one of the little plastic bags that Avon would have sent to you. Okay, they're called snappy bags, and they're called snappy bags because they snap together at the top and keep the water out. So that pack is almost ready to go out. The only other thing that you need in there would be an order form. Now you'll notice on this order form up in the top right hand corner there's a little space for you to put your telephone number and name. And that's it. You don't really need much else than that. At the bottom there's the days of the week. So if you've not got a printer, all you do is circle the days of the week, fold it in half, and then pop it in the bag. Okay, so people can see when you're going to go back. However, for the vast majority of us, if we've got a printer, we do it slightly differently. So again, you put your name and telephone number up there, and what we then do is we fold it in half, put it in the bag so it looks like that, and then we print off what we call day slips. These are little slips that have the day of the week on it, okay, that you're going to pick the brochure up. So these are fully customizable, so you can change our name and number to your name and number, change whatever day you're going to go back to pick the brochures up, and then you pop those in front of the order form. Okay, so that is what your pack should look like. You can then seal it up at the top, and then it's a case of, right, what do I do with these brochures? So to start with, I would highly recommend that you give the brochures to friends, family, maybe people that you work with, yeah, because they're very likely to give you an order. Now, whoever you give the brochure to, we always recommend only leaving the brochure with them for 48 hours. And there's a really good reason for that. If you give these brochures out and you say, I want it back tomorrow, what happens? People come back and go, I've not had enough time to look at it. If you say, well, I'll have that back next weekend, yeah, 5, 6, 7 days away, what happens is when you go back to pick it up, people go, oh, I forgot to look at it. So 2 days is just enough time for them to actually get the brochure, have a look at it, and place an order with you. And that's the ultimate thing. You want an order from people. All right. So once you've done that, what you then do is you think, well, okay, where else could I go? You could go to hairdressers, shops, anywhere. All right. That's one option. But the majority of people would go door to door in their local area. So go to their neighbours. And the way that we do it is very, very simple. So you get your brochures and you've got in with your pack a little black book. Yeah. And this is where you keep records. And keeping records is so vitally important in Avon. Okay. Because you're going to use these records forever. So what you would do, all right, is get this little black book, write down the name of the road that you're going to go to, and then you start to write down the number of the houses that you've gone to. And the way that we would do it is through presentation. Now, some people might pop them through a letterbox, but we found from a lot of experience that it doesn't work very well. Personal presentation is much, much stronger. You're going to get a lot more orders. So that is the way that I would recommend that you go. And the way it works is you go to Speedwell Road, you go to house number 1, you knock on the door and somebody answers. And all you say to them is, hi, I'm from Avon. Would you like to have a look at the latest Avon brochure? Now, let's say this person says, yeah, I haven't seen one of those for years. Fantastic. So what you do, you write house number 1 in your little black book. Yeah, brilliant. You know they've taken it. Then you go to house number 2, you knock on the door, nobody answers. Now it could be that they're at work, they could be on holiday, who knows, yeah? So you don't want to leave a brochure with them because you don't know whether they want one or not. So what you do, you put them into your booklet, but now you put a circle around them. Now that circle denotes that for that particular house, you could go back there later on today, tomorrow, next week, next month, whenever. But it means that you've not left the brochure, but you're leaving the door open that you possibly could get a brochure out there. Yeah. Then you go to house number 3, you knock on the door and somebody answers and you say, hi, I'm from Avon, would you like to have a look at the latest brochure? No. And that happens. And you're going to get a lot of no's. They're not saying no to you, they just don't want the actual Avon brochure. Now it could be that they've already got a representative. It could be that they just don't buy the types of products that we've got. Who knows? They just don't want one. So that's fine. So you don't even put them into this black book. Then you go to house number 4. Let's say that house number 4 isn't home. You go to house number 7. Yeah, they wanted one. Brilliant. House number 9. Okay, not home. And then you go to house number 13. Yeah, they wanted a brochure. So you're going to end up with a list like this. So you're going to have numbers that you've left the book with, houses that you couldn't get anybody in, and then gaps in between where they just don't want it. All right. So that's how we put our brochures out. Now, a couple of days later, you go back and you pick those brochures up. And it's a really good idea to keep records of the results. All right. So, for example, let's say that you go back to house number 1. And they've actually looked at the brochure, and you can tell it's been looked at because it's not in the same order as when you put it out. So the day slip might be inside out, upside down, who knows. It just looks different to when you put the brochure out. So at least number 1 looked at it. House number 7, although they said they wanted it, they didn't look this time. Now, you don't discard those people because it could be a case that they just didn't have enough time. Perhaps something cropped up which they weren't expecting. So we're going to give these people another go next campaign. And then you go to house number 13 and they bought from you, let's say £30. So absolutely fantastic. And you can continue to do that throughout the rest of your brochures. So hopefully that sort of makes sense. Now, the following campaign, next month, you then keep records again. And the month after, again. And what you find is that you start to build up a picture of whether people are looking at the brochure, not looking at the brochure, or buying from you regularly. And what you want to do is try and find as many of these people as you possibly can, the buyers. Yeah, because what you're trying to develop is what is called a customer base. That's a group of customers that will buy from you on a very regular basis. Okay, so what else do we need to cover? What I would also recommend is, if you possibly can, and it doesn't matter if you can't, but if you possibly can, is when you get home from doing these records, maybe to put them onto a spreadsheet on your computer, because sometimes in Britain it rains, and you can imagine if you've got maybe 3, 4, 5 months worth of records here and it rains and these get destroyed, you've lost a lot of work. So if it's on your computer, you just come home, print off another sheet, and then you're ready to go again. All right. The other thing I would also recommend is that you change these bags regularly. You can buy them from Avon. I think they're 80p for 50 of them. You can use them once, possibly twice, but that's it really, because they then become sticky. Some of them get ripped and so on. And you want, this is basically like your shop window. If your shop window is nice and clear, people can look in and they'll think, oh yeah, I'll go in there and have a look. But if it's all tatty and sticky and there's jam on it and so on, people are going to go, ooh, don't really want to go have a look at that, and they'll just put it to one side. So just get as many of these bags as you possibly can, and change them regularly. Okay, the other thing that I need to cover is this. Now most of you will receive a little booklet like this, and in here is a really important part of our business, and that is to know what you actually earn. All right. In your first campaign, Avon will pay you 20% commission regardless. Whether you do £5 or 500, you'll get 20% commission. In following campaigns, Avon expect you to do at least £90 over the 3 weeks, all right, to get 20% commission, or £170 worth of orders will get you 25% commission. Now, I guess if you've joined Avon, you're looking to make as much money as you possibly can. So if you're like the rest of us, you're going to want to aim for maybe £200-300 worth of orders every 3 weeks, so that you're maximizing what you actually earn. All right. So if you've got any questions on any of this, please feel free either to call your sales leader or to call us, and we'll help you and talk you through it all. All right. It's really important to keep in contact. But like I say, the next step is to add us as a friend on Facebook, so that we can add you into the A team. And if you get a chance to set up your shop, be absolutely brilliant. Okay, so good luck in your Avon journey, and no doubt we'll be speaking very shortly. Take care. Bye bye.